If you are poor, it is extremely hard to go from poor to rich. Poor people have no money to invest in their growth, and if they try to do it by borrowing money, they will get crushed with interest. If you're watching this right now, take a moment to appreciate where you are in life. Life can change in an instant. You might be going through a tough time right now. Trust me, things can get better. It is very hard to go from poor to rich, but it is very easy to go from rich to poor. For example, if you were born into a wealthy family, you can easily waste everything and end up homeless. I'm not saying it's impossible to go from poor to rich. It is possible, but it's hard. You need to work 10 times harder than the average person to make it. Most people don't understand this and they blame others for their situation. But in reality, they only have themselves to blame. You see, when you are poor, it affects your mindset and the way you think. You start thinking very emotionally and not very strategically. You see, poor people think with their emotions while rich people think with their brains. Let me explain. If you are poor and you want to improve your life, you will read books about how to become rich. You will read those books emotionally and you will feel inspired. You will tell yourself, well, these ideas are great. But then you close the book and you go back to your old habits. Why? Because you read those ideas emotionally. However, if you read those same ideas strategically, without any emotions involved, then you would be able to put them into action. The problem with poor people is that they read books emotionally and they listen to their feelings all the time. They say to themselves things like, I don't feel like doing this. Or this makes me feel bad. While rich people don't listen to their feelings. They know that feelings are there to be used against you. So they ignore them, and they do what needs to be done. Another thing that poor people do is that they talk about their problems all the time. They complain and whine all day long, but they never take any action to solve their problems. They simply discuss their problems over and over again. And guess what happens? Their problems never get solved. In fact, they usually get worse. Rich people, on the other hand, don't talk about their problems. They don't like to complain or whine. They simply take action to solve their problems and move on. And then we have the poor mindset. Poor people think in absolutes. They think in black and white terms. They believe that either everything is good or everything is bad. They never look at the gray areas of life. This is why they are poor. Rich people, on the other hand, don't think in absolutes. They understand that there are many shades of gray in life, and they always try to find the best solution in every situation. Now let's talk about wisdom. There is a saying that goes, a fool with a tool is still a fool, but a wise man with a tool is far ahead of the rest. What does that mean? Well, if you are a fool, even if you get a tool, you will still be a fool. But if you are wise, even if you don't have a tool, you will still be far ahead of most people. Why? Because wisdom is the ability to use the tool correctly. So even if a fool gets a tool, he doesn't know how to use it and he will never be able to get ahead. But the wise man, he understands the value of having tools and he will figure out how to use every new tool properly. That is why he is far ahead of the rest. So my question to you is, are you a fool or are you wise? Do you have a tool but you don't know how to use it? Or do you have the wisdom to use the tool correctly? Think about it. Here's another saying that I want you to think about. It goes, he who has a why can endure anyhow. What does that mean? Well, if you have a strong enough reason, then you can endure any hardship. For example, if you really want to succeed in life, then you can endure any obstacle. You can endure any hardship because you have a strong enough reason. However, if you don't have a strong enough reason, then you will give up at the first sign of trouble. So, I want you to think about this. What is your why? Why do you want to succeed in life? Why do you want to make money? What is the reason behind your actions? If you don't have a strong enough reason, then I suggest you find one as soon as possible. Otherwise, you will never be able to achieve anything significant in life. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it has helped you in some way. If you liked the video, leave a like, and if you disliked it, then leave a dislike. In the comments below, you can also write down your thoughts or suggestions for future videos. We will be reading them. And finally, if you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you waiting for? Click the button below and join our community.